morning everyone. As you know, yesterday we had discussed two topics, that is adaptation and adaptations of polar bear, right? Now today we will discuss adaptations of penguin. So we had done adaptation and adaptations of polar bear, right? Now today we will discuss adaptations of penguin. But before moving ahead, let me tell you these two once again. What do you mean by the term adaptation? Think, as I told you yesterday, right? If a camel is supposed to live in a desert, right? So the camel must possess some special features that makes its survival possible in the desert, right? So adaptation means the presence of special features. Adaptation means the presence of special features, clear? That enables an organism to live in its surrounding, clear? Fish is adapted to live in the water. Now let's come back. Adaptations of polar bear. This also we had done yesterday, right? I told you how polar bear is adapted to live in the polar regions, clear? So polar bear lives in the polar regions. Now as you know, in the polar regions, extreme cold environment is there, right now? In polar regions, extreme cold environment is there. Even I told you in winter, the temperature could be as low as minus 37 degree Celsius. In polar regions, in winter, the temperature could be as low as minus 37 degree Celsius. So, how polar bear is adapted to live in such kind of harsh, cold environment? Okay, this we had done. First, it has white fur. Second, it has layer of fat under its skin. Third, it has fur, two fur. Besides that white fur, it also has two fur. Okay, so these three adaptation: white fur, layer of fat, two additional furs. These three adaptations protect the polar bear from the cold environment, clear? Now today we will discuss about penguin, adaptations of penguin. Now, first adaptation. You might have seen penguins in TV or in Discovery channels, right now? You might have seen them. Now, tell me one thing. Have you ever noticed they used to huddle together? Huddle means they used to move together, right? So they used to huddle together. This is their first adaptation. They used to huddle together. Now think how this will help the penguin to live comfortably in the polar regions. Clear? Now just think how huddling together can make its survival easy, okay, in the polar regions. Just think. Right. If they will huddle together, it means more heat will be produced. As you know, when there are more people around you, more heat is generated from the body, right now? So in the similar way, as they used to huddle together, so it will produce more heat, and that heat obviously will help them live comfortably in cold environment which is there in the polar regions. Is the first adaptation clear? So they used to huddle together and this protects them from the cold weather. Clear? Now, second adaptation, their feet. Their feet have webs. Their feet have webs. Now, what is the meaning of this statement? Okay, now let me talk about my hand only. Just see. Okay, now, just see my fingers. In between the fingers, there is space. Right now, there is space. Now, webbed feet like this. Now, in case of webbed feet, there is no space in between the toes. Clear? There is no space. Instead, there is a layer of skin. There is a layer of skin. This type of webbed feet you might have seen in case of duck. Clear? So they also have webbed feet. Now, this webbed feet, they help in swimming. They help in swimming. Now, third adaptation, their body shape is streamlined. Shape of their body is streamlined. Third adaptation, shape of their body is streamlined. Clear? Now, what do you mean by streamlined shape? Recall, you had done this in class 7th. What do you mean by streamlined shape? Right. Suppose, let me give you example of a fish. The body of a fish is like this, right now? Normal body. After that we used to draw fins, right? This shape, this is streamlined shape. Now if you compare it with the body of a penguin, you'll observe that the body of penguin is also streamlined. Okay, this is horizontally. Now suppose it vertically, like this. Penguins are like this only in their body shape, right now? So, their body shape is streamlined. This streamlined body plus webs which are present in their feet, these two, they help them in swimming. Clear? These three adaptations, they used to huddle together. Their feet have webs and their body is streamlined. Clear? Now fourth adaptation, the front part of their body. Now tell me, what is the color of the front part of their body? Yes, it is white. Right now? Now, tell me, in polar regions, as you know, most of the time, the surrounding is covered with ice. There is snowy background and the color of the surrounding will be white, right? Now their front part is also white. That surrounding is also white. So somewhat they merges with the background. Am I clear? Merges means mixes, or you can say match. So their body color matches with the color of the surrounding so that they are not easily visible to the predator. Clear? Now, next. We had discussed adaptations in polar bear, right? And adaptations of penguin. Now, except, or I can say apart from these two organisms, so many other type of organisms, they also live in the polar regions, like a few birds. Okay, apart from these, a few birds also live in the polar regions. Now, how are they adapted? Have you ever heard the word migration? What is migration? Recall, you had done in your earlier classes. Migration means moving from one place to another. Clear? Now, a few birds, they used to live in the polar regions and they used to migrate in the winters. Clear? In summer, they used to live in the polar region. But in winter, when temperature is quite low, as I told you, in winter, the temperature could be as low as -37 degrees Celsius. So in such condition, some birds, they used to migrate. Means in winter, they used to go to another place. Now let me give you its one example. Siberian crane. Siberian crane. Now, yesterday I had given you a few examples of the countries that belongs to polar regions. Now, yesterday I had given you examples of a few countries that belongs to polar regions. Now, I was telling you about a few countries that we had discussed yesterday. Those belongs to polar regions, right now? Some of them are Canada, Iceland, Finland. Now, I told you one more country, that is Siberia. Now this example is of Siberia only. Okay, from the Siberia, that is a country that belongs to polar regions, right? From Siberia, this Siberian crane. This Siberian crane used to live in Siberia. Okay, now during the winter, when it is quite chilled over there, so these birds, they used to migrate. They used to migrate to new place. They used to migrate to new place. For example, Sultanpur in Haryana. Okay, Sultanpur in Haryana. Our state is also Haryana, right now? So in Sultanpur, they used to migrate from the Siberia. Plus Bharatpur in Rajasthan. Bharatpur in Rajasthan. So Siberian crane from Siberia used to migrate to Sultanpur in Haryana and Bharatpur in Rajasthan. So these are the adaptations. Okay. Now we had done adaptations of penguin and adaptations of Siberian crane. Clear? Thank you.